Let's talk about best before dates on food. The boss of a company that sells food close to or past their best before date has told 5Live he's seen a 30% rise in sales in the last 2 years. Dan Cluderet, who set up Approved Food, only sells produce with best before dates on, not food with use by dates. There's a different distinction. That's such as meat, eggs and milk. We'll explain that in a moment. The growing trend is directly linked to the increasing cost of food worldwide, and it's so popular in the States that a new supermarket is set to launch that will only sell food which is past the date that manufacturers give to retailers as a shelf life guide. Let's talk to Dr. Sandra Stringer from the Institute of Food Research. Go on then. So far in that introduction we've mentioned best before dates, use by date. Then there's the sell by date. Which is the most important?
It's the use by date. The use by date is the one which is related to the food poisoning organisms. So that's the one that applies to when food is safe for you to eat, and you shouldn't really eat it past the use by date. The best before date is one that a manufacturer puts on to tell you it's less perishable food, so it could be related to whether the texture is not going to be as good as it might be, or the flavour, or nutritional value, but it's not related to the food poisoning like the use by date.
And how much slack is there in the system? When I go to a supermarket and I pick something up off the shelf and it says best before blah, how long after that have I got to eat it?
It very much depends on the product and how worried you are about it being of top quality. For best before, if it's a biscuit and it starts to go a bit soft, well, how worried are you?
Yeah.
Whereas if it's something that, like a fat that may go rancid in oxygen, it probably wouldn't taste very nice if it's a very long way past its shelf life.
So Simon Pashley joins us, who uses Approved Food, Dan's site, and we'll get to Dan in a moment. Simon, how often and what do you buy?
It's usually about once a month, and we usually do about a quarter of our shopping at Approved Food, and we buy snack type things, pop, crisps, sauces, breads.
Taste okay?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I mean, as the lady before said, it's the best before date isn't a hard line in the sand. You're not going to get to the best before date and then suddenly at midnight all of your food goes absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely fine.
Dan Cluderet of Approved Food joins us. How do you do this, Dan? Are you buying in bulk from the bigger suppliers?
Yes, we are, yeah. We buy from brand owners, supermarkets, wholesale operations, and there's many reasons why we get the products. It might be because there's a sort of like competition that's ending, like a change in barcodes or anything like that means that, some stock somewhere gets short dated, and that's
it's
normally
9 hours.
Pick it up.
So I'm just having a look at your site now. A packet of 5 hobnobs down to 25p. Coca-Cola 0.99, that's down from 1.79. So, I mean, the savings vary from about 20p to £1.
Yeah, it's about the average customer gets 60-70% cheaper than the normal shop.
And how popular are you? How many hits are you getting?
A day we can range in between 10 to 20,000 visits per day.
And Simon, this is your answer, presumably, to paying top prices. Have you only started doing this since times have been tough, or would you do this anyway?
No, absolutely no. I've not been doing it just because times are tough. We do it because it's part of the shopping mix. Food waste in the UK is to be frank, it's a bit of a disgrace. And this is a great way to kind of mix that with our regular shopping. It's just what we do.
And what don't you sell, Dan?
What don't we sell? Well, we don't sell used by, so it's all best before. And really, like the products we buy, our trick is to not inherit somebody else's problem.
Right.
So what we do is we buy the right amount of stock for the right amount of people who we sell to. So, like it's a balancing act of picking something up cheap, passing it on cheap to the customer, and then getting it moved through the system.
Thank you all for joining us to discuss this. Really interesting tonight. Dan Cluderet of Approved Food, who sell food near or past its best before date. Simon Pashley, who shops there. And before that, Dr. Sandra Stringer, who is explaining the difference between use by and best before dates to you from the Institute of Food Research.